Good day to our listeners and viewers. Today we are bringing to you a special report on the death of 23-year-old Seage John, who was killed during a police operation in the Rose Place community on New Year's Day 2023. A police report on the shooting said that on Sunday, 4th of January 2023, members of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force conducted an operation in the Rose Place community. During the operation, a man who was armed with a gun fired shots at the police. The police returned fire, and the gunman was shot in the process. He was transported to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital for medical attention, and he was later pronounced dead by district medical officer. And that is according to the police report. A newspaper article on the incident reported in the Vincentian newspaper said that Rose Place residents were quite vocal about the police operation and the manner in which the young man was treated. They also reported that Seage John didn't fire any bullet after the police. Today, the family of John is opening up about the incident to dispel rumors and to appeal to the authorities for justice. Right here with me is the mother of Seage John, Onicia John. Miss John, good day. And let me first express condolences on the passing of your son. Could you first of all tell us how you first got news that your son was killed?
My aunt was here from New York and she woke me up crying. So I jump up. I say, Ma, what's going on? And she said, Nisa, come let we go. Police now kill Sage. So that's how I knew what happened.
And what was your reaction?
Shock, sorrow. Then I started to cry and then I just couldn't hold up. And then she said she had to go and see. She had to go and see. So I stayed at home and my aunt, my cousin, his grandmother, and everybody else went down to the scene. They didn't meet him there. They went to the hospital and they deal with it from there. I just could not have dealt with it then. I just could not have.
I could imagine the pain, as you said, and the sorrow you felt. So from the hospital, because you said you couldn't visit the hospital, but based on the reports you receive, I don't know if you can tell us anything that what they said happened at the hospital when maybe a family member or someone visited.
So when the family got to the hospital, they told me that he had a gunshot wound to his right hand, and he was already dead when they got there, and his neck appeared swollen. And then one of my family members said that they was questioning what could have caused his neck to be swollen and all these things. That is it.
And from that point, you receive any communication from the police to give you an indication as to what happened?
No, the police didn't get in contact with the family until Friday gone, Friday the 12th of January. I was told to come and visit, have a conversation with the commissioner of police. And I went and we had a conversation.
And what was this conversation is about? What did you felt that they addressed your need? What was the conversation?
The conversation was based on, well, first of all, he extended his condolences to me and the family. And he told me that he cannot tell me nothing as yet because the investigation is ongoing. He told me that I can have an independent legal advisor if we choose to. And then he asked if we had any questions. We asked some questions, We did ask some questions. Some he gave a kind of partial answer. Some he said he don't know. He don't know nothing about that.
And then they're promising and investing. I want to, right. And as you mentioned that, I want to refer you to this police report. Um, with regards to the discussion that you and the commissioner have, and it headlined that the cops met with the family. Um, in this article, the police are basically saying that, as you said, they would have expressed condolence to you. Um, there was a high level sort of meeting. They had the leading seaman, Bishop Nolan John, who is they also had members of the police high command, and the statement said that the meeting between the police and you and the family member took place at the police quarters, and during the meeting, the commissioner extend condolences to you, which I confirm from you that this took place. He gave an update on the status of the investigation process and informed the family that after the investigation is complete, a coroner's inquest may be held to ascertain the circumstances surrounding John's death. Did he give you an assurance that they're going? What is it? What did he say with regards to the coroner's inquest? And also, if you know about the coroner's inquest, would you like a coroner's inquest?
Yes, we would like a coroner's inquest because I mean to say it have some circumstances surrounding this that just ain't adding up to we, his family. Okay, and about the investigation, he told me that he cannot like divulge certain information because the investigation is ongoing. That I can understand. But other than that, and about the coroner's inquest, yes, we would really like to have a coroner's inquest. Yeah, because some things about this ain't adding up. Things about this ain't adding up. To we, his family.
I also want to refer you to some reports that are out there in the media, that is saying that the autopsy would have revealed that your son died from a broken neck. Is that true? And can we confirm? Can you confirm what the autopsy said is the cause of death?
The autopsy said he died of blood loss and gunshot wound to his chest. It never said he died of a broken neck. We, the family, never put it out there that he died of a broken neck. So I don't know where a journalist get a story from. And then again, he said unconfirmed reports.
So there are unconfirmed reports, which is being circulated. There were some reports though. While you would have confirmed now that the autopsy did not say that, there has been some reports that John might have suffered a broken neck. Um, and I don't know if you know anything about that. What can you say to us about that?
Family members told me that he had a swelling on the right side of his neck. So we was wondering what could have caused that particular area to swell.
Miss Janet, it appears that a bulk of your problem is the manner in which the police are handling the situation, right? You're saying basically it took about 14 days before you got any news from the police, right? Within that 14 days, how did you feel knowing that there was no communication? What was going through your mind?
A lot was going through my mind. I was vexed, frustrated. I was wondering, so why nobody contacted me as yet? Isn't he that important? A lot of things was going through my mind. A lot of things was going through my mind.
Because if as you're saying you're not hearing from the state, it appears to you that they don't care. They don't care. And then we saw a protest. Tell us a little about that protest. Why was there a protest? And the protest itself, do you you feel that it achieved the objective?
About the process itself, yes, I feel that it achieved the objective because it is bringing vibes to the whole situation concerning
awareness.
Sage. Awareness, yes. You know, it people who may not have known about the situation, because on the line some people was asking what this protest for. And when they tell them what it's actually about, they say this happened when, where this happened. So it was bringing awareness to the situation. It was bringing awareness to the situation that that Sage was shot and killed in Bottomtown Rose Place, and the community in general was saying that he didn't deserve to die. So they were saying, like, according to the community, they were saying like he had no gun, he surrendered, and they come back to the question as, okay, if the incident happened right there and the hospital right there, how come he died? How come he died? And they were saying that when he was speaking, he wasn't showing no sign of distress or nothing. He been like Lou said, he was asking the police, he was telling the police officers, okay, it's not me who run and whatever. What could have happened from that moment to the hospital that can cause his death? That's what the protest really about.
And you could also say that based on the protest, that is why the meeting with the commissioner came about, because it was after the protest.
Yeah, it was after the protest. It was like days after the protest. Yeah.
Let me just fast forward a back on Sage. Um, growing up, where was Sage born, and where did he grow up?
Sage was born in Edinburgh. We was living at Edinburgh at that time. He grew up on Back Street, Grenville Street, a whole strip along there. He grew up there. He went to the Kingston Anglican School, then he went to the Intermediate High School. And that is him. He loves sports,
Most sports.
football. Yeah, he was into football. And yes, he made some mistakes in life. Yes, but he was trying hard to correct whatever. He was turning it around. He was actually turning it around, because he got ice box. He set up on the football association business. He had a nice little something going on there.
So he was selling.
Yes, he, yeah, from ice box. He had a nice little setup there. He was trying to, if you want to say, redeem himself. Yes. And since he got the last time he got locked up.
Well, before you go there, because you know, you mentioned that, you know, and that is something we wanna look at, because I think he was charged for attempted murder, attempted murder and robbery. Was he ever found guilty of those?
No, he was never convicted of any of those charges. He was never. The robbery charge was, the matter still ongoing in the High Court. Up to the time of his death, it was still going through the process in the High Court.
So like on two occasions he had run-ins with the law, and on one there wasn't any conviction, and the other one was still ongoing. And it goes back to those instances where you might the society in a whole, and I heard that was coming out of the protest, that the society in a whole looks down on folks that comes from the Rose Place area, and maybe that's why some of what you're speaking about doesn't get there's as much attention. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do. I strongly believe that, because let's say, for instance, okay, Sage got into trouble with the law. Nobody disputing that. Yes, but him getting in trouble with the law and being killed by the law is two different situations. You understand? It's two total this situation, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's a bad man. He's this." Okay, so because all they perceive him to be a bad man, it is right for the police to kill him. That's a question I've been asking in my head how long. So because he got into trouble with the law, does that give the police a right to kill him because he's a bad man? That's what I'm saying. That's what. society saying he's a bad man.
And that's a fair point, and the question that you're asking is very pertinent to this whole situation. Is it because he's a bad man why the police kill him? What is the reason? And as you're asking for justice with regards to this, um, and you reflect on Sage as a mother, and I could see you smiling. And what would you say is like the fondest memories, like something you will cherish about him?
However, it's like when me he sit down like that was me go to person. When I have my little problems, I'll say, Sage boy, this is what happening. And he go listen and say, Mommy, man, that is a one two. Yeah. He say, man, that is a one two. You understand? And then sometime he go say, like if I really, really get irate, he go say, you can't behave yourself. Man, just done with it. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. And then when I go and look for him and I see him, he come on the corner and say, Ma, what is scene? Yeah, I know he did about. I know he did about. For my hair, Ma. I say, yeah, he did about. I mean, yo, this break me, yo. This break me.
Guess there is no more here in Ma.
Nah. And then when I go into my life, my struggles now, I go here, man, there's a one too. There's a one too. Yeah, I was saying there's a one too. Yeah.
Is there anything he used to say that he would like to do in his life, or something he would have liked to achieve?
Um, he like little before he dead, man, we were having a conversation. He's like, Ma, you want hear something? You go stay Vinci, and I go try go out there, and I go make it for me and you. The only thing is that you have to hold it down. You have to make sure my brother and sister, my children, okay. You go just be the caretaker, and I go be the provider. Yeah, we had a bond like that. Trust me. And he always wanted to like go away, go and see different, as he would say, a different kind of life. It ain't gonna happen. It will never happen.
And he has children because
Yeah, he has two children. He has a boy that is 4, Kevin, and he has a daughter, Sky. She's 3.
Miss Kevin understand that his father is
Yeah, I think the two of them understand it because the morning after the incident, me and Kevin been inside, and he's like, "Mommy, you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Nah." I was like, "What?" He say, "Mommy, you can't be okay." And Sage dead, you know.
that's what Kevin is.
Yeah, and Sky, with this car, she Diana. Diana asked me, Mommy, brother ain't moving again. She don't call him dad, she's calling him brother. Brother ain't moving again. And I was like, no. She was like, no time. I was like, no. And she go ask she uncle and them like little questions about them. And they go answer she truthfully. That is one thing. They would answer her truthfully.
So in terms of these kids now, I'm looking at the welfare. How will they be taken care of? Was Sage the person in their life taking care of them?
Yeah, but more yeah. But as of now, we would come together as a family and make sure that they are okay. We would come together as a family. As people may know, we are extended family and we don't leave one another behind. So we as a family would come together and take care of them.
And in terms of Sage death, what do you um really want to see happening from this, including the police, if they were at fault or if they weren't at fault. In any case, what would you like to see happen with regards to this?
In terms of the police, right? They say they are carrying out an investigation. I would like it to be as transparent as possible, as fair as possible. You understand? Professional. Just all I need is some answers to certain questions and justice. Justice. That's it. Make it appear to me that your work was done as professionally as possible and as fair as possible.
Miss John, as we come to the conclusion of our interview, we are coming on off the heels of a record breaking here with regards to homicide. 42 persons were killed, were murdered, in 2022. What sort of advice would you give to the youths to, in essence, help them to change their life around or to become better citizens? So what sort of advice do you want to offer to the youths?
To the youths, right? It's like it's not every situation and every thing you have to be a violent reaction. Maybe y'all could just sit, talk it out, find somebody in the community or within the community or somebody outside the community that can go and say, okay, this person did me this, and this is what talk. Simple. Sometimes it's just petty things that lead to this big, heavy situation. Sometimes just talk. Somebody wanna talk, you don't like it. You understand? So just talk to one another. Talk. People in the community, I sure I could go and sit down and talk to. It are people with outside of the community you can go and sit down and talk to. Talk. Try like words. Use words. It's not every situation cause for violent end. It's not. Talk to people. Talk.
Awesome. Well, folks, you heard it from the mother herself. She's saying that diplomacy is better than war. And it's good that we could and we should talk things out and try to find the solution to some of the problems in our society. So, folks, you've heard it here from the mother of Sage John. Um, Not everything or not every conflict requires a violent end. Choose diplomacy over war. She's calling for justice. She wants transparency, and she wants accountability for the death of her son. So, as we mentioned previously, we are here speaking to the family of Sage John, who was killed during a police operation in the Rose Place community on Christmas Eve. And right here, I have a cousin of Mr. John, Dave John. Dave, good day, and once again, condolences to the family.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I mean,
And they've tell me how you first learn of the death of your cousin.
well, it been about a little minute after 12. I woke up. I was there. I was outside listening to the fireworks or whatever was going on. And my phone rang. When I answer, it was somebody from the community telling me, Dave, police now coming and shooting them boy on the block. So when I heard, I was really shocked. And I mean, this tasteful. So I hung up my phone and I went down in the yard. And then the phone rang again, and different person come and tell me, Dave, police case Sage. I was like, boy, we're saying, what mean police kill the youth? She's like, yeah, boy, police kill Sage. So I hung up the phone and I came inside. I allowed my mother, you know what I mean, and tell she the news. They didn't know Sage mom was up at the time. Then I heard she scream out. You understand? And I was like, yeah, ma. Then my mother started crying. Then I was there. Then phone call keep coming from people in the community. Then one person call back and say, no, Dave, like I'm hearing dead boy. So I felt a bit better. So I tell him, man, hurry up, let's go now, man, hurry up, let's go down the road, hurry up, hurry up. So I hurry them up, but I noticed his mom couldn't make it. So I tell him we're leaving she home. So me, my mother, and my brother, we went. When we reached down there, we went to where they say it happened first. He wasn't there. They say they took him by the hospital. then we left, we go over by the hospital. When we get there, we meet several police officers. You understand? We went inside, we saw his body lifeless. You understand? And it was a real, it was a real shocking moment. You know what I mean? So we did, we observed everybody. We watched because we could have noticed a gunshot wound to his right arm. You understand? We search it, we search, we see what's going on. He right side, like on the arm area, was swollen, and he had a swollen neck right here. I even asked the question if that was the bullet in the neck. You know what I mean? Did not say she don't know. You understand? So we was there for a good while. We did with the police, till we call them police, the investigators, yeah. Them they came, so they say he dead, stay we dead. He did, then come do the thing, and then we left when the police leave. And that is how the night went about. We went down a bottom tongue when the police went back to the scene. We went down there, well, I went down there. You understand? I watched what was going on, and then we left and come home. During that little time I was there, people in the community was giving me a little account of what happened, because I wasn't there. I can't say what transpired. People was giving me a little account. They say chief officers alone. You understand? Chief officers alone is who came like creeping and greeted a few young men there with gunshot. You know what I mean? They say Seage took off running. I don't know if he realized it was police or whatever. He stopped, he surrendered. His words were, Officer Nami running. Please don't kill me and kneel long. Two officers took chase and grab him after he surrendered. They called the other officer, which was the leading officer, I believe, of the operation, as the news stated. He said, yeah, hold him, that one, they hold him. They say when he go down there, he was like, go down on the ground. You understand? Go down on the ground. He tell them, well, Officer Nami run, don't kill me. You know what I mean? Then the next thing people could see was a lifeless body, a weak body coming to go on the transport. Because they say, like he call a transport, because only three of them come and then the transport came with the rest. You understand? They took him to the hospital. I don't know what transpired between the point where he surrendered, because he seemed like he was in good spirit surrendering till.
Did anybody say the police stamped him in his neck or anything? Like the police kick him in his neck?
Yes, there was report that people say, yes, the officer stamped him and tell him, go down, go down. You understand? People from the community said that. You understand? I don't know. I wasn't there. That what people in the community say. You understand? So the real question about it is that what really caused him to death? How come he dead? If you understand. What really caused him to death? What transpired between that point to the hospital within such short distance? What could have caused him to death? Yeah, so that's the question I personally would like to know. And if there's a police operation being performed in an area like Bottom Tongue, where they consider to be a hotspot, how come they dealt with it in that manner? You understand? I think they took the wrong approach to dealing with to running an operation of that nature at that time of the night, at that time of the year, the wrong way. Because if you want to run an operation like that, during that time, you take a police transport, you will park it up in the road, so there's police presence. So whatever you're trying to accomplish, you will get a do because police is there. Not that chief officers alone sneaking around. You understand? Creeping in on men at that time of the year. Everybody know what happened that time of the year. If you understand. I don't know what was transpiring down there. You understand? In one report, they say he had a gun, he had a shooting engagement with the police. People in the community saying he never had no gun, and the police never had no shootout. So I don't know. So there's questions that need to be answered.
So in terms of that, the police didn't come to you guys and said, well, there are this evidence, that evidence. Even during the meeting with the commissioner, you don't hear of anything of any evidence?
No, well, I wasn't in the meeting with the commissioner. I wasn't there. His mom alone went, but I had a conversation with a particular officer by the hospital, and he told me your little cousin bought the officer vest. I asked him which officer, which vest. He tell me them survived the attack and he didn't survive it. You understand? So if there's that type of activity that transpire, well, there must be some kind of evidence. You understand? So the family will like to see the evidence, if you understand. So it's like, let me deal with it fair, let me deal with it the right way. You know what I mean? Professional, and everything will be all right, because this family had no problem at all with the authorities and the police. We have never been anything like that, and we ain't trying to be in anything like that. We just need answers for Sage, which is my little cousin who I love solely. We just need answers.
Dave, in terms of the support you guys are getting and from the community itself, and in terms of the protest action, how does these things come about? What is the result of the protest action?
Well, the protest is mainly put on by the people in the community. You understand? Because they are mainly the ones who saw what happened. So it's like a grief of unjust, unsatisfied that this action that they see happened, they protesting against. And we the family, we support it. You understand? We support it because when you see unjust, you gotta talk out and you can't afraid to express yourself and your feelings. Understand? So this is how the family community. So that is we're going on. It's not a violent protest. It's more like um awaken protest. You understand? To make the public aware of these things that has been transpiring. You understand? So the family don't have no personal grievance with the police force or anything like that. It's just that justice. We ain't looking for sympathy either. It's just justice we need. You understand? Yeah.
So I am Ken Vilhan, reporting for IKTV and also for Boom 106.9.